Our top story today from thegatewaypundit.com, President Trump issues a warning to Joe Biden. He didn't give himself a pardon. We're talking about this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Weekend Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Weekend Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today, Jim Hoff reports for thegatewaypundit.com, President Trump issues a warning to Joe Biden. He didn't give himself a pardon. Let's talk about it. Earlier today, in a recent interview with Fox News' Sean Hannity, President Donald Trump criticized Joe Biden's decision to issue preemptive pardons to several family members and associates in his final moments of his presidency. Trump highlighted that while Biden pardoned his siblings and their spouses, he notably did not grant a pardon to himself. During the interview, Hannity brought up the issue of preemptive pardons, reminding Trump that Biden had once campaigned on the promise that he would never use them. If you remember, Joe Biden expressed concern to CNN's Jake Tapper over reports that President Trump was contemplating a series of preemptive pardons for his adult children, his lawyer Rudy Giuliani, and even the possibility of granting one to himself. Now, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice, Biden said during his first joint interview after winning the election. I'm not going to be telling them what they have to do and don't have to do, Biden said. Now, of course, we're going to show you a video here in just a moment where Donald Trump was actually speaking directly on Fox News and talking about this. But let's talk first about what Joe Biden said. Listen.
Considering a wave of preemptive pardons for his adult children and for Rudy Giuliani. He's also floated the idea in private conversations, according to our reporting, of possibly pardoning himself, which he insists he has the power to do, though that has never been litigated. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. Look, our Justice Department is going to operate independently on those issues that how to respond to any of that. I'm not going to be telling them what they have to do and don't have to do. I'm not going to be saying go prosecute A, B, or C. I'm not going to be telling them that's not the role. It's not my Justice Department. It's the People's Justice Department. So the persons I pick to run that department are going to be people who are going to have the independent capacity to decide who gets prosecuted and who doesn't. Now, in terms of the pardons, you're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons.
Right. So, look, it is kind of crazy. Like, you remember all this happening where he was like, oh, we're going to be running a real presidency and everything that happens here, it's just going to be a complete, reversal of all of the, all of the sham and shame that was in the last administration. Really, dude? Is that what happened? Now, here's Trump responding to this on Hannity. Listen.
Joe Biden ran and said he would never do preemptive pardons. It was an issue that came up when you were leaving in your first time.
He heard that I was going to do it. I didn't want to do it. I was given the option. They said, sir, would you like to pardon everybody, including yourself? I said, I'm not going to pardon anybody. We didn't do anything wrong. And we had people that suffered. They're incredible patriots. We had people that suffered. You had Bannon put in jail. You had Peter Navarro put in jail. You had people that suffered, and far worse than that, they've lost their fortunes, they've lost their nest egg, paying it to lawyers, and those people, and people said, and they wouldn't have even taken, most of those people, they wouldn't have even taken a pardon. This guy went around giving everybody pardons, and the funny thing, maybe the sad thing, is he didn't give himself a pardon. And if you look at it, it all had to do with him.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page.
Typical. All right, so, obviously we're talking about this. Look, he didn't give himself a pardon. He said, I didn't commit any crimes. But that's kind of funny because he said, I didn't do anything wrong. And so he didn't give himself a pardon. But I thought one of the weirdest parts about this was that not only did he not give himself a pardon, but then if he didn't do anything wrong and he didn't give himself a pardon, why did he give Cheney and Fauci pardons if they didn't do anything wrong? That's like always the question, right? Got to track the logic on these things. Now, that being said, have you guys ever wondered something important? What happened to legendary Chuck Norris? Now, I recently saw a video that he made and I was shocked. He's in his 80s and he's still kicking butt and working out and staying active. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. Now, he did this by just making one change. He says that he still feels like he's in his 50s. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger, her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Now, Chuck made a special video that explains everything. Make sure that you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/pundit or by clicking the link below in the video. Now, this video is going to change the way that you think about your health. Go to chuckdefense.com/pundit. Click the link in the description below to watch the video now. If you're getting older and you want to find out how to get your energy back, it's so simple. You just got to watch the method by clicking the link in the description box below. Links on the screen and in the description. Check it out. Now, that being said, it is quite interesting. Representative Tim Burchett demolishes a vile Trump hater, Jim Acosta, with a devastating reality check when the CNN anchor brings up the J6 pardons. CNN's Jim Acosta may no longer be able to showboat during White House press briefings, but this is not stopping him from getting humiliated on national TV. Representative Tim Burchett appeared as a guest on Acosta's eponymous show, CNN Newsroom. Now, this is on Wednesdays to discuss the J6 pardons issued by President Trump on Monday. Unsurprisingly, Acosta was in a foul mood as he sought to force Burchett into condemning Trump for freeing over 1,500 political prisoners held hostage by the Biden regime. Check out this clip and you tell me what you think. Was this a justified confrontation? Well, watch.
This is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes. Yeah. This is CNN. This is the news. We're asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim. Look, I left the White House during a riot. My life was threatened. My life has been threatened within the last few weeks, yet there's no coverage of that. And you all continue this narrative of attacking Trump. You just can't stand the fact that he won and that America spoke.
Congressman,
and that your view is very diminished.
That's not the case at all.
And your view is very diminished.
Oh, what a life. What a life to be able to fight people like that. I mean, the humiliation ritual is just amazing. I mean, it's like more people are watching Cartoon Network than watching that. Am I wrong? Is he wrong? Now, that being said, AOC also urges civil disobedience against Trump executive orders. We don't have to listen to him. Check out this video and you tell me what you think. Originally published by Ben Q. Here she is talking directly about resisting Trump peacefully. Well, we'll find out.
And one of the most simple things that we can do is just not comply. Today, the Trump administration, and also last night, the Trump administration signed a bunch of illegal executive orders. For example, Donald Trump tried to sign an executive order to end birthright citizenship in this country, which is part of the Constitution. It is day one already trying to shred the foundational documents of American society and try to end birthright citizenship, which basically, as we know, if you are born in the United States, you are a United States citizen. That remains, that is the law, that is the Constitution. And he just tried to sign a piece of paper trying to say no. We don't have to listen to him. It's illegal. We don't have to treat this seriously. It's a joke. And that's not to say that what they're trying to do isn't serious. It is serious.
Yeah, well, it's like, I love how these people just care about democracy, right? These people care about democracy. Like, oh, I really care about, the State of the Union. I really care about, that people are unified. But then they have this rhetoric where they just talk about resisting. And it's like, I don't feel like we resisted. Did we resist Biden? I feel like no one was resisting. I mean, yeah, he's like January 6th, sure. But he wasn't in office yet. He was certifying an election. That was different. But I feel like nobody resisted Biden, right? It was just like, well, this sucks, but we don't want the country to collapse. So let's just do the best we can. And it was a terrible 4 years. He barely made it. He didn't make it, actually. Dave Rubin said he would delete his channels, actually, or completely log off if Joe Biden made it through the 4 years. But we don't want Dave Rubin to log off. We like Dave Rubin here at the Gateway Pundit. We do. We love our creators there from Rumble. But that being said, she also had a little more to say. Listen to this.
Well, we are on the eve of an authoritarian administration. This is what 21st century fascism is starting to look like. Republicans really model themselves after Orban's Hungary. And so you can look to see how Viktor Orban runs hungry to get a taste of how they will try to govern and control media and companies in the United States. And this is kind of an entree to that. As far as what we do, you know, this is a time of experimentation. A lot of people will still use platforms, can still use platforms, but I also look towards places where you have more ownership as well and develop your audiences there. Like Blue Sky, you own your audiences at protocol, decentralized protocol, newsletters, email.
AOC is nuts, right? I mean, look, she's toasted, roasted, and bagged nuts. She's gone completely out the door. I don't understand how these people talk about, you know, dictators and fascists when it's like Biden just had hundreds of people in prison and jailed and raided for, you know, very, very light charges. It's like, you know, even the people that Putin puts behind bars, they still committed acts of, you know, either they flashed their breasts inside of a church. Like, these are still offenses, right? Sexual offenses, or they broke laws and violated laws. But we always say this. It's not that in dictatorships, people aren't breaking laws. What do we say? It's that the laws are unjust and the punishment never matches the crime. That's like, people don't get how dictatorships are. With Trump, really? I mean, he's telling illegals to get out. Did you see that Haitian gang member today saying, "You Trump, I'm not going to leave." And it's like, and he like has like 19 convictions here. I don't know. I'm getting really tired of these people in my country. And I feel like Trump isn't, you know, I feel like he's not really doing anything poorly in terms of running a country the way it should be. Now, obviously, guys, listen, nobody likes getting older. I'm going to be honest with you, especially when muscles weaken, making activities harder and less enjoyable. But what if you could actually get stronger with age? Now, celebrity fitness trainer Tony Horton at 66 claims that he's found a simple method that takes just 1 to 2 minutes a day, allowing people to feel stronger and healthier in a short time. Now, age-related muscle loss, which starts between 40 to 50, is a natural but can hinder daily tasks. People lose about 0.5% to 1% of muscle mass annually, contributing to increased frailty and vulnerability to falls from the elderly. You know, I've seen my grandparents fall all the time, and it's, you know, it's really sad. Now, Horton, known for training stars like Bruce Springsteen, you guys remember him, says that his approach can combat his muscle loss and even build new muscle. You want that? You don't want the atrophy, right? It's terrible. You know how it is. Your pants start falling off, you need suspenders and a belt. Well, his method has repeatedly been so effective that it's the subject of a viral online report. Viewers on platforms like Facebook have shared positive feedback, with many feeling stronger than they have in years. Now, Horton encourages sharing this video to help others. Individual results obviously may vary, but you can learn more by visiting tonyprotein.com/pundit. That's TonyProtein.com/PUNDIT. That's tonyprotein.com/pundit today. Make sure that you check it out if you want to get that muscle mass back before it's too late. tonyprotein.com/pundit. Click the link on the screen, or it's in the description as well. Now, that being said, check this out. The Trump effect, and automaker Stellantis announces reopening of Illinois plant. Will build new trucks in Detroit. Check out this video that we have here in just a moment where they talk about this. Listen to this report directly from the news.
Stellantis Investments returns 1,500 jobs to their Illinois plant. They're going to produce their new mid-sized pickup in Illinois, and they're going to build their next gen Dodge Durango at their Detroit complex.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know what the next gen Dodge Durango looks like. Is that electrified? Is it a hybrid? Hopefully the latter
we know that
for
the Trump administration
investors in Stellantis.
On EVs.
No, and consumers really not that hot on EVs either.
Very true.
It's interesting to see Olaf Scholz in Germany wants to really push ahead, obviously because they've invested, Volkswagen, Daimler, and BMW so much in electrification. But yeah, this is interesting. You know, they're also pulling their production down from Canada into the U.S., Illinois, Ohio, and Michigan.
Stellantis Investments returns 1,500.
Yeah, 1,500 jobs. The Trump effect is in full swing. We're really happy to see Trump bringing those jobs back. Man, tell me in the comments below what you think about that. Do you think this is a bit of Trump, or are we going to give Biden once again the praise? Now check this out. Watch Canadian Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre humiliate a woke TV reporter with one question. Check out this video and you tell me, are you ready for Canada to become great again as well? Watch.
First day on the job, President Trump signed an executive order, the U.S. government only recognizing two genders, male, female. They're unchangeable. You know, if elected as prime minister, is that something that you're going to kind of walk in line with, or what are your feelings on that executive order?
Well, I don't know. Do you have any other genders that you'd like to name?
Me personally?
Yes.
I'm just asking more so if you're in line with what he is saying. Do you agree with what he's saying? Is that something that you would be lockstep with if elected as prime minister?
Well, I'm not aware of any other genders than men and women. I mean, if you have any other that you want me to consider, you're welcome to tell me right now.
Well, there's personally, I am a man. I am a, as people say, cis man. There are people there who, they say they're gender neutral. Well, you are a man. Yes. There are people there who say they're gender neutral. Yeah. They say they're gender neutral. They're a trans person. Is that something that you would recognize here? Whereas in the States, at least with their U.S. government, the way they're seeing it, there's only two.
I'm only aware of two, but.
I love how this is like the funniest statement. It's like, look, some of us that are way more based than this are like, are we really coming to a government proposal to accept that there's only two genders? Like, I feel like I'm back in 2011, right? But like, we can't be the naysayers. If this is what it's taken time, if you're a decade ahead, thinking about what's going on, good for you. I've always known there's only two genders because I'm not an idiot. But at the same time, you have to understand, not everyone does realize that. So at least we're getting somewhere. Anyway, I'm Elijah Schaffer. Don't forget to get one of these amazing mugs at the Mug Club. You can pick yours up by joining and supporting us directly at thegatewaypundit.com. If you want these articles, the links are in the description. You can also find an accompanying article on the website. I'm Elijah Schaffer. Thank you so much for supporting us. Have a great rest of the week. May God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.